This could possibly be a very long episode, Ben.
Well, that's because it's full of great stuff.
Yeah.
Like Anthony O'Connor, the screenwriter of Angst, which is turning 25, is joining us to talk about Angst.
And on top of that, we've got Jarret Gahan coming in for his final PE class of the year. So that's a big part of the show.
And we're discussing the best films of the year 2021.
We've also got our movie battle. What's that? Reform Girls versus Caged Heat, etc., etc. Lots more. That'll do. Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Hang on.
What?
You're infringing on my copyright. Hey is my intro.
Would you prefer hello? You're a very attractive man.
Oh, really?
Oh, jeez.
It is I, Leclerc.
Well, I would then offer you an alternative. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Good Movie Monday. You are listening or watching the podcast dedicated to nerdy cinematic ramblings. It's a pleasure to be here with you, as it always is. We have a great show, albeit possibly a long one. So strap in. My name's Glenn Cochran. Mr. Buggerlugs right here is Ben Hellwig.
Onions. Who will buy my onions?
How are you, sir?
I'm good. And if you know, you know. Hello.
There's a big dint in your head there.
Is there? That's a...
He fell off his motorbike. If you know, you know. You know? Why don't you do the whole obligatory stuff?
All right. Why don't you head over to goodmoviemonday.com, where you will find most of our past episodes. Not all of them, I've discovered. When I went to cheat on this week's show
They're all there.
to listen to the 2021 best of.
No, that's there.
No, it goes, well, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It only goes to 2022. And on the website, you can't scroll down past the top 5.
But you can click there and go through to the Podbean where where the show is hosted, and that's got everything.
Well, there you go. Thanks, Clippy.
You learn something every day.
Also on the website, you'll find merch. You'll find links to all of our things. You'll find a little support tab if you want to support the show. We really, really need it because we are broke and shit.
That's right. Just paid our Podbean subscription, and we'll be living off 2-minute noodles for the next while.
And I promised I'd kick in, but I haven't.
And there's some merch.
Contribute my part.
There's some merch, by the way.
Oh, we got a cup.
Yeah, that's
right.
You
got one.
Well, I've had it for a while. It's usually over there and never on screen. But look at that. I must say, like, the handle, when you hold it like that, it doesn't show up on camera. Like,
yeah, it's
the logo's over here. Need to move it around. So we'll work on that.
Change that design.
Right. Anyhow, we're really padding. I don't know why. We've got so much to get through. It's December. Are you feeling festive? That's what I want to know.
It is the 1st of December when this episode drops, and it's already started.
Have you indulged in any Christmas viewing yet?
Yes, and that is going to be coming up later in the show.
I'm excited. As you know, if you've been around for long enough, listen to the show every year, Christmas is the only time I will indulge in Christmas movies, and that's pretty much all I indulge in during December. So I'm very excited to kick off the month and get into some festive treats. We didn't go to the cinemas this week, so there was nothing for us to talk about. In cinemas, though, is was it Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Nuremberg, and Eternity. Haven't seen any, so, I mean, given that the show's so stacked, it saves us time.
Yeah. Why, if you go and see them, why don't you leave us a little comment in the show
That's right.
and let us know what you thought?
Exactly. But we do have Jarret Gahan up right now for the final episode of PE class for the year. He may be back for a sneaky appearance just after New Year's. We'll see what happens. But as of 2025, this is it. So strap in. If you're looking to collect some physical media, he's got the download for you.
Physical media is very important, kids. One day, maybe the cloud ain't there. How are you going to watch Dogma?
Being able to hold it in your hand and see the artwork and the posters and have the names, it's it's a real thing.
It's such a sadness that you think you've seen a film on your fucking telephone. Get real.
So there are some people that only get their PE class fix by video on our socials on YouTube and Facebook. And I'm sure there are some people that are a bit confused about what PE class actually is, and they're just too afraid to ask. But it is physical entertainment, and that's why we call Jarret the coach. He's here to hydrate you with some of the upcoming releases. How's it going, Jarret?
Not too bad. Just watch out. I do the towel flick as well. So.
And the metaphorical slap on the ass.
Oh, wait, I look, there's no hands involved. I only use the wet towel. So that's all I do. That's all I do here. I'm good, and it's great to be back to talk about December's releases, because surprisingly, for the last month of the year, there is a ton of titles coming out, both new and classics, or as I've dubbed them, newies. Quite a few newies and some classics as well. But yeah, it's an exhausting one, so I'm going to get right into it, lads.
Do it.
I'll start with the newies because it's good to get that out of the way so we can concentrate on the really good stuff.
On the fun stuff.
On the fun stuff.
Right.
The first one I haven't seen yet, I am keen to check out, The Conjuring Last Rites, which they have on the artwork for the home entertainment release, added a 4. Conjuring 4.
They did that to
Last
number 3
Rites.
as well, though. They did that to number 3.
They did that for home ent as well.
Yeah.
There you go. I guess it is confusing when you're in the store and if you're looking at them and you're not like us and maybe remember those subtitles. But anyway, Conjuring 4 coming out on 4K Blu-ray and DVD. A bit of a lackluster release. I mean, it's got Atmos on the 4K and the Blu-ray, but there's only 3 promotional featurettes on there. Nothing of really any kind of worth. I can't help but feel that maybe Warner will eventually do a nice collector's box of it.
It's really strange because there's a moment in there where all the characters from the previous films are in the same scene together.
Right.
And like Frances O'Connor, the Lily Taylor from the first one. And it's like, why not make a little documentary about that? And James Wan is in the same scene. It's like, why not have a documentary about this reunion?
Please tell me. Now, I haven't seen this either. But if they get them all together, then did they shoot an end credit sequence where they all sing a song like there's something about Mary?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, Build Me Up Buttercup, was it?
Yeah, Jersey Boys finale.
Yeah. Like, what a waste if they didn't, if they had them all together.
Totally.
Yeah.
No, surely they're keeping that for the deluxe.
And they sing Don't Fear the Reaper.
Yeah.
I hope it's the Muttonbirds version, though.
Dude, I enjoyed Conjuring 4. I thought it was fun.
Oh, good. I'm looking forward to watching it. Look, I didn't think much of the last one, The Devil Made Me Do It. I think it was titled. That was the subtitle for that one. Yep. But I am keen to watch this. I mean, it's got to be better than that last Insidious film, The Red Door. That was
well, they shift the location of this one to like Pennsylvania, so it's got that industrial like
cool.
small town vibe, steel
sort of,
mill in the background, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm looking forward to checking it out. Now, here's another sequel that's coming out on home end, 4K Blu-ray and DVD. Nobody 2. Which kind of just kind of like crept out, really.
It did nothing. It did nothing. There were no junkets that I was aware of. The press release is very minimal. Like, there's nothing. I would have thought this would be a big sort of fanfare title.
Oh, totally. Considering how big the first film was, and this sequel was a good sequel. As far as sequels go, I mean, it was a bit padded and unnecessary, but I still really enjoyed it. Like Bob Odenkirk playing an action character. I'm there every day. I mean, I'll watch Bob Odenkirk in anything. But yeah, no, it's not a bad sequel. It's pretty good.
It has 2 super cathartic moments, and they're both in the same scene. It has that dream moment where someone else's kid is acting like a piece of shit and you smack them.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
Great. And then it has the cathartic moment where somebody else smacks your kid, so you go to town on them.
Yeah, totally. 100%. 100%.
Both in the same scene.
Awesome.
It's a good sequel. It's a good sequel. Now, the Atmos is on the 4K and on the Blu-ray. There's some deleted scenes and 2 featurettes. So it's not an amazing release, but Universal did go back and do a special edition of the original Nobody. So, who knows? There may be a Nobody 3, but given that this one just sort of kind of quietly came and left, I don't think so. And Bob Odenkirk's not getting any younger. He already had a heart attack.
Yeah, I guess
so I don't know if he needs to chance that again on a third one.
These movies can't be that expensive to make, and they're doing a whole lot of like Monkey Man, Novocaine. Like it's a popular thing at the moment. So round it out with a trilogy. Give us a nice triple pack.
Look, I'd be, and it particularly if the third one's a seasonal movie, maybe everyone's doing Christmas, so let's choose something else. Like if it's American, let's do Independence Day. Easter would be amazing because there is not not enough Easter movie-themed movies out there. So yeah, absolutely.
And call it No Bunny.
Go with Critters too. That's great. Well, he's got to have a fist fight with someone in a bunny suit, surely.
I would say, surely the third one has to be Christopher Lloyd has died, because surely he doesn't have
Yes.
that much. Knock on wood, he
No,
can't be
no.
doing that stuff for much longer. And then at the funeral, you find out that he was keeping all these enemies at bay, and now that he's dead, they've all come to town to take out
Yes.
the nobody. And the subtitle is, it's death of a nobody, and that would be
Oh, that would be
that'd be
fantastic.
amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm in for it. Well,
Or
you've
it could be
written it,
just
Ben.
all the bodies.
All the bodies, yeah.
All the bodies. Moving on, gentlemen. Eddington, the new Ari Aster film's coming out, only on Blu-ray and DVD locally. Didn't get an opportunity to see this one, but admittedly, I still haven't watched Beau Is Not Afraid, so I probably won't be in a hurry to watch this one. Have either of you guys seen it?
No, I've gone off RES. It doesn't really interest me anymore. Like that, I was
Yeah,
afraid really turned me off. This one, the
yeah,
premise looks good. It looks good as far as like
yeah.
the aesthetic of it, but I'm not in a rush.
No, likewise. I can sit this one out. It looks like a bit of a plane movie to me. So if I ever eventually get on another plane, maybe I'll watch that. Speaking of planes, the next one's Fight or Flight with Josh Hartnett, coming out on Blu-ray and DVD. Haven't seen it. Do actually really want to see this
Yeah,
one.
really
It
dug
looks
this
a
one.
lot of fun.
It's one of the
Yeah.
few.
Good,
It's one of
good.
the few occasions Ben went to a screening without me.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, that's freakish. That doesn't happen. Did you take Mel with you, Ben?
Yeah. Had a bit of a date night.
Yeah, nice,
worked it out.
nice. I'm looking forward to checking this one, and I'm glad that Roadshow are at least doing a Blu-ray for it as well. Now, from Roadshow, but via Rialto, really, Strangers Chapter 2, Rennie Harlan's second installment in his new Strangers trilogy. It's coming out on Blu-ray and DVD. Either of you guys seen this one yet?
No, look, I quietly a little bit excited because I did like the first one more than I thought I would.
Likewise, I enjoyed the first one
Yeah.
more than I thought I would. And this one, I don't think is as good as the
Yeah,
first, but
fair enough.
it's still fun. It's fun, and there is the most ridiculous CGI sequence in this movie that comes out of nowhere. Had no place being in it, but I'm glad it is because it brought a lot of laughs. Because I was just like, what am I watching? Is this The Strangers or what?
Yeah.
Anyway, look, it's good trash. It's
What
just good
frustrates
fun
me a little
trash.
bit about this one, like the first one had a pretty nice little cover with one of the faces, I think Baby Doll or whatever was on the front.
Yes.
In this one, they've put them all on the front. It's like, why not just do a second character and have a nice little...
And multiples of them as well. I think
Yeah.
there's like about 3 versions
But
of
they
each
just
of
put
the
a
different
really
characters.
tacky montage or collage on the
Yeah,
front.
I
and
just don't think it works. Yeah, no, it's a missed opportunity for sure. But anyway, that one's coming out on home end. Hopefully, it does a little bit better on home end than it did theatrically, because that was a movie that kind of came and went, and seemingly no one even knew it released. The Long Walk, sadly, another film that didn't do so well theatrically, is coming to home end, and no 4K release, just Blu-ray and DVD, which is a damn shame.
Yeah. Once upon a time, I would have said this one's got the potential to be a cult favorite moving forward, but movies come out too thick and fast at the moment that nothing really becomes cult anymore.
No, it's strange, isn't it? Isn't
Yeah,
that weird? Films
good
are so
film.
fast forgotten about. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, shame about the 4K. I'm pretty sure Lionsgate are doing a 4K in the US, but nothing from Studio Canal locally on this one, which is odd, given they'll do a studio classics of some film that basically nobody really wants, and they'll do it in 4K. I'm kind of glad about that, because I am one of the few people that probably do want that. But in this instance, yeah, missed opportunity not doing the 4K.
Can I just say I completely disagree with you and love everything our Studio Canal
I
overlords
was about to
do.
jump in with the same.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Okay. Yeah, no problem. And I'm sure the home entertainment division and the theatrical division is completely different.
Yeah.
And they're not even making these choices. It's probably AID or someone else. Moving on to Caught Stealing, which is coming out from Sony. This one is coming out on 4K, Blu-ray, and DVD, all the formats. However, Sony, being the characters they are, have decided that they will only have the Atmos on the 4K, not on the Blu-ray. They customarily do this. It's, I think, to drive people to the Blu-ray, and fair enough. I mean, to the 4K, and fair enough. You should indulge in the 4K when it's an Aronofsky film as well. Then the last new film I will mention that's coming out is Kangaroo, which is coming out on Blu-ray and DVD, and perfectly in time for Christmas. Haven't had a chance to see this one. Do actually really, really want to see it.
Yeah, I'm really keen. I interviewed Ryan Core for this one, and didn't have a chance to see it beforehand. So it was more just an educational piece. He's telling me all this awesome stuff behind the scenes, and it's like the new Red Dog, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've been in dire need of one of these films. They seem to have come thick and fast. Years ago we had like Oddball and Red Dog. And it's
Runt.
been a little,
Yeah.
oh, well, we did have Runt. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. That was only last year or the year prior.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
Both of these
Now,
are Studio Canal, by the way.
yeah, there you go. God bless them.
Yeah.
And we had
Moving on
Good
to the
Boy.
classics. What's that? Good Boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Oh, yeah.
we did have Good Boy.
Yeah, I
He
don't know
just
who's
he
doing.
just threw a proverbial stick into the spokes right there.
Yeah, I don't know who's doing that one on Home End though. That might be an Acorn Entertainment Shutter number, and Lord knows when we'll see that one.
Yeah.
But moving on to the classics, the first one I want to mention is a curious one. It's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, a classic, absolute classic. Warner are releasing a 4K release of this. Now it is 4K only. There's no Blu-ray component, and it's the same way in the US as well. It's a very odd decision because this is an odd release. I love this movie, and of course, I'll definitely pick up the 4K, but I'm going to hold on to my Blu ray because it does have 2 new retrospective featurettes on the 4K. It has the expanded documentary. I can't remember the title of it, feature length documentary. It goes for about 87 minutes. That was featured on the Blu ray and DVD, but it was a truncated version that only ran for about 45 minutes. So, this is the extended version of that. There's deleted scenes on here as well, but not all of the deleted scenes. The previous Blu-ray and DVD had, I think, maybe 8 or 9 deleted scenes. This one only has like 5, so they decided not to include them all. Trailers missing. I know that's not a big thing, but the audio commentary with Milos Forman's not on this release either, which is kind of mind-blowing. Like, I would have thought that was a studio-owned legacy extra, and they've just opted not to include it.
2 missed opportunities with this release. They should have wrapped it in one of those blood gel packs with a bonus razor blade in it. That'd be fantastic.
Or a pillow, is that what he smothers him with?
Yeah, that too. Or just secretly or discreetly throw in the audio commentary for the Dream Team over the top.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. Yeah, 100%. That's a great companion film to watch.
Yeah,
the sad thing about this artwork, they've done a steelbook release locally, and it's steelbooks had a release in the UK and the US. The artwork's a little curious though. Yeah, I just didn't really dig it. It's the Jack Nicholson character sort of in the cage.
Yeah,
and it's just sort of like, I don't know, it's really obvious, and I'm like, I don't know, the artwork wasn't super iconic, but the disheveled Jack Nicholson always was a striking sort of image on the video cover. Anyway, so that one's coming out, unusual release. Definitely, I'm going to grab the 4K, but I'll hold on to the Blu-ray. Jackie Brown's coming out through Imprint, and they're releasing this. As far as I can sort of see, there's no new content on this release. It's all archival. So if you've already bought the Lionsgate release from the US or the UK, then probably no need to upgrade. There is a little paraphernalia in that hard box. It is a nice set, but unfortunately, I'd already bought it from the US years ago. Likewise, they're doing, I think a week later on December 10th, they're doing Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2.
Yep.
And the sad thing about this was it got announced, and then no less than probably 2 weeks later, the whole bloody affair gets announced for its theatrical engagement in the US. As to whether that'll even come to Home End, because Tarantino has been quite guarded about that property and that version of the film, who knows? But it just seems like it's going to open up that. Well, it doesn't have the. I can see people buying it as a gift.
I feel totally stupid because I called Imprint. I got a message from a friend of mine going, "Oh, when's Whole Bloody Fair coming out here?" And I was like, "I don't know. Let me make a call." And I was like, "Hey, have you considered releasing the Whole Bloody Affair?" And Josh is like,
Yeah. I could imagine any politics involved with Quentin Tarantino, properties. That's why I think we've only ever seen very stock standard sort of releases that have ported the archival features. There's very little in the way of new special feature content.
He is very much like Spielberg when it comes to these things. Doesn't really like to give much. Spielberg doesn't do commentaries and things like that.
No, but at least Spielberg allows his films to be reissued every 3 years with one new special feature, a la E.T. or whatever. They'll find, hey, it turns out that this film's going to be having a 42nd anniversary. Let's release it again with one new feature that goes for 12 minutes, a round table. I'll buy it.
Let's add Turkish ET as an extra feature.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. That would be phenomenal. All right, so moving on. Robert Redford obviously has passed, so all the studios are cashing in by releasing back catalog titles. And this is very true because, like Sony, through AID, are releasing The Way We Were. This has been out in the US since 2023, so
terrible cover.
Timed. Same as the US artwork, really
Yeah.
underwhelming artwork. But that one's finally coming out locally. It does have a Dolby Atmos track because, yes, I did import the US 4K some time ago. Directed by Sidney Pollack, and then also directed by Sidney Pollack out of Africa with Meryl Streep and Robert Redford, also coming to 4K. I don't know if I need to upgrade that one. I feel like I just upgraded to the Viavision Blu-ray a year ago and it's still in plastic. So unless it's got an Atmos track, because you haven't seen Out of Africa till you hear it in Atmos.
Let me just be your wife for a moment. You don't need it, Jarret.
No. Look. To be honest, I don't need a lot these days. I don't get a lot either. So that's the truth. That's the truth of it. So those are coming out, and then of course, other parties are looking to capitalize on Robert Redford's passing and releasing or re-releasing back catalog titles on DVD and Blu-ray once again, like Legal Eagles is getting another go on the DVD circuit. No Blu-ray, unfortunately, but yes, coming out on Blu-ray and DVD. No 4K, even though there's a nice 4K restoration available in the States through Kina Lorber. Yes, I've bought that one. That was before Aurora, so before we had my daughter, when money was a little bit more frivolous and fun. Then with Nail and I, that's coming out through Imprint. Oddly, this one's already had a 4K release in the UK through Arrow and in the US through Criterion, but locally it's just getting a Blu-ray. Maybe they've actually seen that and gone, well, if people really want it, they've probably imported it, so let's just do the Blu-ray release. Regardless, yes, that one's coming out through the Imprint collection. Now, this one took me completely by surprise, is that Mad Men are releasing Yorgos Lanthimos' first feature, Dogtooth, on 4K locally.
Yep.
Wow.
My mind was blown because I thought Mad Men, they kind of flirt with 4K every now and again, but generally it's something that's been out in other territories for however long.
This is to make up for the lack of a couple of his other more recent films not having any physical media release here.
Of course, because the whole Fox aspect of it, Kinds of Kindness and Pretty Things, none of these
Poor Things,
none of these films. Poor Things, that's it. Yes.
Yep.
Are getting local release, and sadly most of them are only getting Blu-ray or DVD releases, Blu-ray releases in the UK and the US, no 4K. But who knows, Criterion might work with Disney, because if anyone's got access to the Disney catalog, it's really only Criterion, because they've managed to get in there a few times.
Aren't they owned? Isn't Disney's their parent company, right? That's
do they
how they
own
get them
Janus Films? They do.
Yeah, I think when that was the big thing when The Rock and Armageddon came out and Benjamin Button, it was like, oh, okay. This is
that sort of makes sense then. God, I can't imagine the red tape involved though with those companies talking to one another. It'd probably almost be better that they were completely and utterly separate entities. Then another title that's coming out for the first time on 4K, just in time for not a remake, the meta sequel. I don't know. Anaconda coming out on 4K in a steelbook with the Blu-ray Atmos on this bad boy. I've got the complete Anaconda box set up there. Never seen any of the Anaconda films. Seen bits of the Anaconda films. Never watched a whole Anaconda film.
Are you serious? Not even the first two?
No, but I am very keen now that this meta
first one's
coming
fantastic.
out.
Yeah.
I've never seen the first one. I've only seen the second one.
Second one's great. The second one is great, but the first one for me, it's got a real soft spot.
I feel like I've seen The Blood Orchid, the sequel, because it was playing when I was working in a cinema, and I reckon that between the cinema checks, I probably saw the whole film for 2-3 weeks it was out. But yes, so Anaconda 4K Steelbook coming out just in time for the I don't know what you call it, reimagining.
Meta.
Dogma coming out on 4K, compliments of Umbrella. 4K Blu-ray release, pretty schmicko release. We'll definitely get this at some point. Never got the Blu-ray, the US Blu-ray, so it'll be a good update, and it's loaded with new and archival special features. The one I'm really excited about, though, is Boogie Nights. Is coming out December 17th from the Warner catalog via Roadshow. And now this one's got all the legacy special features that was on that terrific New Line DVD and Blu-ray release, plus a 2-part American Cinematheque panel with P.T. Anderson on there as well. Only thing that could have benefited it a little bit more would have been an Atmos track, because I would have loved to hear Jesse's Girl in Atmos,
In Atmos.
amidst those firecrackers going off. Oh.
You know what? If it was anybody else but Heather Graham on the front cover, I'd say it's a really uninspired front cover. But as it is, it's glorious.
Yeah,
I'm just really
actually...
I'm really disappointed that they didn't. I think it's a Walmart exclusive. There's the steel book with the Rock and Jelly Bean art.
Yeah, no, yeah, that is happening, and I think the UK are getting it as well. Could be another retailer exclusive, but yeah, not happening locally. And it's a shame because there have been some of these Warner titles that Roadshow have done steelbooks for, like the Terminator, Lethal Weapon, and I think Boogie Nights is probably just as big as that. You know, everybody loves Boogie Nights. If for one thing another. Some just like the prosthetic that Mark Wahlberg wears at the end of the film. But
that's an equal opportunities masturbatory delight, that film.
Absolutely. I'd like to think you'd open the steelbook, take the disc out, and then you just it's
a pop
really
out.
Are a star.
It should come with a rag or a Boogie Nights, just one Boogie Nights sock.
Yeah, no, just the puffy cover, the puffy cover.
Yeah,
I'm with it. I'm with it. Now, also coming out on 4K December 17th from Paramount is The Warriors. Interesting. I don't know a lot about this release. I don't know if it's going to be the theatrical and the director's cut, or whether it's only going to be the director's cut, because that's the one that Paramount kept dragging out time after time.
Yeah,
ignoring the theatrical cut, and then Arrow did this fantastic edition. I think they did in the US and the UK. Actually, no, I don't know if they did in the UK. I think it was actually a US exclusive. And it's got both cuts restored in 4K. So many special features. It is the most magnificent edition, I tell you what. So I don't know what Paramount's got planned for their sort of budget priced 4K locally, but more than likely the director's cut with all those archival extras that pretty much correspond to that. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, getting a release on 4K and Blu-ray through Viavision in like one of those lenticular hard cases with a steelbook inside. My only gripe about this, I love this movie, and I'll probably, considering I have not bought the US 4K yet, I'll probably might get this one, is that it's a missed opportunity to do an amazing special edition, given that it has not had the proper treatment. The version that we grew up with on home video, the extended version, has not seen a HD, let alone 4K release. Did get a release on, the DVD at a point in time. But for the most part, it's just that theatrical cut that keeps getting, touted out. And so we need a special edition, and it needs to have Tone Loc's, Aces in the House video on there as well.
Yeah.
Very, very timely, because Udo Kiev did pass away last week. So.
Oh, no, yeah, absolutely. It was funny because I saw people, and everyone's discussing their favorite films, whether it was the Warhol produced films or whether it was Suspiria or
Ace Ventura, baby.
But me, I was like, oh,
no.
Need we say more? Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Ace Ventura is great, but the concierge. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, the concierge, or
AKA
for love or money.
Or for love or money, yeah.
Yes.
Love or money, as it says on the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Duck.
Not Puppet Master, Littlest Reich.
Oh, well, we've still got some in the warehouse. So, yes, absolutely.
My Udo Kier, I don't have cool Udo Kier stories like Kayla does or anything like that.
Or Ann Timpson,
Or Ann Timpson or anything, I don't have any of those. But when we commissioned the artwork for The Littlest Reich, to give the artist Giorgio Credaro an idea of what I wanted, I posed for the photo and I played Udo Kier in the photo. And then he illustrated it. And I was like, well, it's
they should have put his head on your body, mate.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's a beautiful story. That's a much better story than I've got. I've got no story. Anyway, also coming out, Lake Mungo. It's coming out in 4K with 2-disc Blu-ray.
Love it.
In a very jazzy edition. It's amazing. It's got Michael Cravenville's 3-hour documentary. We played the festival cut at Monster Fest, which ran for about 2 hours. This is the extended 3
Such a great film. Yeah.
Oh, incredible film. So, yeah, great that it's getting a really nice release as well. They've got that great limited edition on the Umbrella web store. And then even the standard one that's going to store, still got a slipcase, still got all 3 discs. So,
sweet.
Definitely worth picking up. Then the last one I'm going to mention, gentlemen, is Dust Devil, which I know you'll be excited about, Glenn.
Yep, for sure. Richard Stanley's follow-up to Hardware.
And it's great that someone's doing it, because this was talked about. I think Severin talked about doing it many years ago, but then after he was cancelled,
they
cancelled any kind of
Well, I mean,
releases.
it's a movie that it was a big deal when it got dusted off, no pun intended, for its DVD special feature release.
Oh,
Had
God,
all
yeah,
this great
absolutely.
stuff in it. It was like a fat pack and all
Yeah,
that.
it's
And then it disappeared again. So it's like having a
Yeah.
second revival.
100%. And I think that DVD, from memory, it's probably here on the shelf.
Yeah, I've got it over there.
Oh, it's somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like it might be 3 discs. I
It's
know
got
it's
all of his
three
documentaries.
cuts of the film.
All of his documentaries, yeah.
Phenomenal. And given that Umbrella did such a great job with hardware, like I'm really excited about this release of Dust Devil.
Yeah,
So that's going to
it's
be
a curious
an
film
immediate
too.
purchase. It is, absolutely. And what's his name? Who's the lead?
Yeah,
Was,
that guy.
from
That guy.
RoboCop 3.
Yeah.
And he's in the Hal Hartley films, Robert something or other.
Yeah, I know who you mean.
Think of his name,
can't
but
think of it,
I love that guy. I love that. I think he's a terrific actor. Like, he's great.
Not Martin.
In his
Martin
latter
Donovan's
years-
the only one I know from the Hal Hartley movie.
Yeah, this
That
guy,
would be an interesting choice for RoboCop 3.
This is
Martin
actually
Donovan.
it might work. It might work. Look, could still happen. RoboCop 4, Martin Donovan for the role.
Directed by Hal Hartley. That would be. I would want to see that.
That'd be amazing. Yeah,
And his
absolutely.
partner's played by that. What's the
It
name?
could be Sarah Polly, because Hartley used Sarah Polly in No Such Thing. The monster one, the Beauty and the Beast one. So she could play the Nancy Allen role.
Yeah.
So yeah. Look, I mean, look, in this segment alone, how many films have we pitched now? We've got
Far
RoboCop
out.
4 happening here. We've
I
got
know.
All Bodies, or No Bunny. I mean, this is like, this should just be, the pitch section.
Yeah,
We'll
well,
have to.
Studio
hashtag-
Canal. Studio Canal are watching. Take our
Yeah.
ideas on board.
We'll have to hashtag.
and we
Hollywood.
demand you do a 4K Ultra HD, because everyone needs to see Martin Donovan's whores
Yeah.
in the only part of him that's human in the RoboCop. Anyway, gentlemen, that's it for me for this month, but I'm excited to come back before the year's out to give you guys my top 5 4K.
Yes, you'll be joining us in a few weeks' time for an end of year roundup, which we haven't announced yet, but now we have.
There you go. Look, nothing like a bit of informality.
That's right.
Will any of Jarrett's picks not have an Atmos track?
Oh,
Whoa.
Well, I mean,
wow.
Jarrett
I
must be really.
can tell you off the top of my head, at least two of them do not have Atmos tracks.
I mean,
But they are older films, and they probably didn't necessarily need Atmos tracks. Look, everything needs Atmos tracks. I own Steel
I can only-
Magnolias. It's got an Atmos track. So
I can only imagine. I can only imagine the rage going on, the inner conflict inside Jarrett's
I
head
know.
with those reports that came out the other week saying that DVD is still trumping all the other physical media formats in
Oh
sales.
God, I know, and it makes perfect sense. I mean, it's so cheap to produce, and so many people still in this present day and age
Don't
say,
care.
I don't notice the difference. And you're like, oh. They're the people that watch like Channel 7 on the standard def and not on 7 HD, and they go, oh.
But hey, if you're watching, listening, you're welcome here. We we love everyone.
We broadcast in HD as well, by the way, folks. Enjoy.
I mean,
Anyway,
look,
gentlemen,
look at Ben. He's surrounded by VHS. Like, come on.
Yeah, totally. The analog format. Ah, bless him. All right, gentlemen, that's it for me for this month. So until next time,
Stay
physical.
It's Terrific TV Tuesday, the only Tuesday TV segment that drops on a Monday.
Like I said earlier, Glenn, it is, like you said earlier, I should say, it is Christmas time. And like every Christmas time, Hallmark goes crazy. But this year, they've done something that I don't believe they've ever done before.
Made something good.
That's an outrageous and libelous comment. They have launched a new, it's not Hallmark Channel Hallmark. I'm pretty sure it's Hallmark Mysteries, the Hallmark Mysteries channel.
I know what you're going to say.
Has
Yes.
launched a TV show called Mistletoe Murders.
Yeah.
I tell a lie, they did do another show. Last year they did a reality show, which was like finding the new Mr. Hallmark, which was like a not bachelor type show, but like a like a pop stars type show where they had all of these
That's right.
a very attractive gentleman
Yeah.
with their shirts off vying for who was going to star in the very last Hallmark Christmas movie. And they're doing that again this year. But this Mistletoe Murders, unlike usual, like when Hallmark do series, usually what they mean is like a series of films. So
Yep.
like they did that Mystery 101 and the crossword mysteries and all sorts of kind of banal
Yeah.
banal titles like that. This time they've actually done it as a, and it's an hour and a half an episode.
Yeah.
Completely standalone. The characters just come back. This time they've actually done it as a hour-long episodes. Each mystery lasts 2 episodes.
Right.
So it's not exactly. It's not like an entire season.
Yeah. I get it.
Of one mystery. It is, but it's not episodic either. It's close. And this one is fan-dab-tastic.
Oh, amazing! Didn't last year they do 12 days of Christmas, and every day they released a new movie?
They did something 60 or 70 films last year. This year they've pulled it right back.
Okay.
It's not as outrageous as that, and I'm not falling into the same trap of promising to do all of them and failing at about 30.
You have reminded me something that happened this week, though, that I'm finding very amusing when you bring up Hallmark movies, right, or TV shows. Because I had a message from our number one listener, Brody Kane.
Big Hallmark fan, Brody.
This is what I'm getting at, right? So he messaged me about my TV recommendation last week, which was The Last Frontier.
Yeah.
And he goes, mate, now you know me as the kind of horror guy I am. Do you actually think I would like this? Is it worth my time? And I'm thinking, nearly everything Ben recommends on this show, Brody must be sitting there going, what the fuck? And now you're talking Hallmark?
Hallmark, yeah. Hallmark murder mysteries.
Get on it, mate. Get on it. You have fun. Come over, sink a few beers with us, and watch a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, especially the kind of Hallmark horror types. It's not horror, it's the Hallmark murder mysteries.
Anyway.
But this one, it stars Sarah Drew, who's probably most well known for being in Grey's Anatomy, but for me, she'll always be the nerdy girl from Everwood, and Peter Mooney from Burden of Truth, which is a fantastic Canadian TV show.
Not to be confused with Peter Moon.
Yeah, very different from Peter Moon. He's a very attractive guy.
It's almost the LOLO impersonation, isn't it?
It's very similar. I didn't squeeze the eye enough.
In fact,
Victor. It's because it's Margot. It's Margot.
Right.
Margot?
Yeah. We won't go to that, but yes.
Downey?
Victor.
Margot Downey. Yeah. Mark Downey. Mark Downey. You're very unattractive, man.
Far out. Those shows are basically the same, aren't they?
Essentially. So basically, it's this woman who has moved to town. She has a mysterious background that they unveil as the series progresses, but she's kind of on the run, or is she? She opens up a Christmas-themed shop.
Amazing.
Which is ridiculous considering it's open 365 days of the year, not just at Christmas
Those
time.
exist, though.
But those exist.
Yeah, we've got 2 in Melbourne.
But in a small town.
Go to Banff, Canada. They got one all year round.
One, yeah. Of course, the love interest is the police detective in the town, and his daughter works for her, and he's gotten divorced from his wife, and she's moved away. So, perfect time for Sarah to move in while they solve murders.
Oh my God!
And
in a small town,
much
many
like
murders.
Mount Thomas, this small town will become the murder capital of.
Wherever the fuck they are.
Canada, America?
America. Fuck yeah.
But look, definitely worth it was a bit of fun. But surprisingly, while they do cut away, still a surprising amount of kind of gore.
Oh, cool.
Like the killings are pretty full on.
So what's it on streaming?
The Hallmark Channel.
Okay, excellent. I don't know if I have that.
I don't know how to shall we say, legally watch it in Australia. But if you're in America, which is where most of our listeners are.
To be honest with you, that is where most of our listeners are.
It is on the Hallmark Channel. And there's new episodes, I think, once or twice a week.
Go forth and enjoy. I'm going to bring things back to Australia for mine. Although it's an American show, parading as American, just shot entirely in Melbourne. It's a brand new one called All Her Fault. On Binge, and it's starring Sarah Snook. And Sarah Snook has so much muscle in Hollywood now that she can bring a whole show to Australia, which was how it happened, I believe. Like, she's like, I really want to be home. Can we do this down? We've got Docklands. We've got all these locations.
And by the way, the American dollar is worth the Australian dollar is worth 60 US cents.
That's right. Of course, it makes sense.
Pretty
right?
cheap.
So they have the show based here. It's all set in Chicago. Works mostly well. Occasionally, you'll be at Elwood Beach and be like, "What the fuck is going on?" Yeah. But if you don't,
couple of thongs in the background.
If you don't know Melbourne, you wouldn't know, right? So. Yeah. It's a fantastic show so far. I've gotten 2 episodes in. The mystery is fantastic.
I have a confession to make.
Yeah.
I saw this was coming out. I read the synopsis, went, I'm not really interested in watching this, but I'm interested in finding out what happens.
Yeah.
So I had a little phone conversation to Mr. Jarret Gahan, who has watched the whole thing, and I was like, I told him what I thought. I was like, is this person this?
Yeah.
And is that person doing that with that person?
Yeah.
And he was like, yes, no, yes, and told me what happened. I was like, fan-dab-tastic.
Now you don't have to watch it.
Now I don't have to watch it, but from
Well,
what he was saying, sounds excellent.
It is excellent, right? The mystery is thick. They throw curveballs left, right, and center. This is only 2 episodes in. I do have this sinking feeling that it will get predictable because some of these twists and turns, they're good, but I'm like, well, okay, you're getting so much out of the way early. But it also ebbs and flows through time to establish stuff that to play into one red herring. And anyway,
I like that that Sarah Snook isn't the only ginger in it. Either. It's got the girl from It.
Yeah. Although she's only ginger for a while.
Yeah.
In it. The gist of it is Sarah Snook plays a mother, an affluent mother who's
unbelievable,
whose child is kidnapped right at the start of the first episode. She goes to pick the kid up from a play date. It's the wrong house. Well, the right house as far as the message she's been given by the other mum, but the other mum doesn't live there. And so then it becomes this, well, where is the kid? It becomes a tabloid sort of media frenzy around them because they're rich and they're suspected of, wrongdoing, blah, blah, blah. Every single player that comes into it, from her family, from his family, from her friends, the school mums, everyone's a suspect.
Yeah.
And
it's amazing how these people, when like all these secrets were revealed by this one event, and you're like, how were you guys friends for 20 years prior to this?
Well, they weren't. That's the thing. They're all kind of new to this school group.
Okay.
And that's kind of where the juicy stuff comes into it. But, look, like I said, I think it's going to be predictable. I want to know what you know, but I'm not going to ask because I will persevere. To this point, yeah, it's fantastic. So I recommend it if you like me and you like a good, and like Ben, you like a good murder mystery. Well, It's not even a murder mystery. It's a kidnap mystery.
Yeah,
then,
it's a crime mystery.
Yeah, that's right. Get on it. And if you're from Melbourne, if you're one of our local listeners, you'll get a kick out of looking at all the sites and stuff. Like, there's a lot of like outside Jeff's shed and down at like IMAX area museum.
What upsets me is that they shoot this stuff here and I'm completely unaware of it while it's happening. Like I just got the email today from Screen Australia, their newsletter, talking about how Gerard Butler's...
Yeah, but hang on. Who hates the city more than you?
Well, yeah, I hate the city, but they don't all shoot in the city.
A lot of them do, though. Like they block off one of the side
lanes,
streets. And, yeah,
I did go and see Ghostbusters being shot in the city. Not Ghostbusters, Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
little difference.
Big
little difference in box office. Not so much in, depending on which one you're talking about. Not so much in quality, but Gerard Butler, because Gerard Butler's in town shooting his new movie.
Yep.
And it's being shot at Docklands and surrounds, and I'm like. I'd love to meet Gerard Butler.
Just go hang out at the gate, the boom gate.
Yeah, I'm like, who do I was looking at the producer. I forgot to ask. I was like, who do I know that would possibly know the producer of this? Because one of the producers is born in Melbourne. I'm like, so they're the Australian connection that they've hired to handle the stuff down here. I'm like, how do I...
It's not as easy as like I've told you when I lived in Vancouver, which is like a mecca for film shooting. They'd have signs everywhere to locations.
Yeah.
They just have a different name on the sign so you don't know what the shoot is.
What's actually being shot.
That's how I ended up on Free Willy 3. Like, I just followed a sign that had something written on it and that's where I ended up.
Yeah.
Got to see Richard Donner.
You just sneak in. What you need, really at the end of the day, is if you bring your own like little radio mic thing, then everyone will just think that you're... supposed to be there.
Yeah, that's right. With a lanyard.
With a clipboard. In the
gaffer
paper.
tape around your belt.
I mean, look, that was a life lesson in the paper. That Ron Howard's The Paper. Michael Keaton basically says, hard hat and a clipboard will get you into any...
That's right.
Get you into anywhere.
If 24 teaches you anything as well.
And it totally works. But for a film set, you need a little more on a film set. You just need a radio mic.
Yeah, that's right.
And if somebody comes up to you, just go... Yeah, no, I'm just coming back from props. Yeah, I'll be down there in a second. And then you just walk right past them.
Yep, excellent. Excellent advice there.
Yeah.
Before we push on to the next part of the show, I just want to mention in TV land, Stranger Things Season 5 has dropped as well. So that's a big one.
Dropped last week.
I will talk about it once I've watched a couple of episodes. I haven't gotten into it yet. Just haven't had time.
Somebody posted this artist had done this phenomenal Stranger Things artwork to kind of celebrate the launch, and it featured Barb.
Yeah.
And I was like, I commented, I was like, when they killed Barb in season 1, episode 3, that's when I stopped watching.
Well, I don't believe they even killed her. She disappeared.
She disappears. No, she does get killed by the thingo in the
Demigorgon or whatever.
The Demigorgon.
I don't recall that, but it's
But there's everyone. There's this major kind of internet movement about how the creators done Barb wrong, and they're hoping that she's going to be the return.
Yeah,
I'm like,
she might be the Demigorgon.
she could be the Demigorgon. Yeah.
Fun fact for people that are
I think that's Lily Allen.
For people that don't know, a certain someone on this desk was the face of Stranger Things season 1 online, working for Netflix and CBS Interactive.
This guy. I was very happy to do it.
I will let you take the credit because it was such an abysmal performance that I don't want the credit. Babyface on me, way out of his depth at the time, but geez, what an experience that was. They didn't call me back for season 2.
They wrote you. The Demigorgon must have got you in the Mirrorverse as well. They didn't kill you off. You just disappeared.
Hanging with Barb.
Yeah.
We're at that point of the show where we throw to an interview. Ben, we talk to some really interesting people on this show. That's the fun thing about it every week. Almost every week, we have somebody really interesting to chat with. And sometimes you get more than 10 minutes and you can just prattle on for a good half an hour or so, as is the case today.
I don't like to think of it as prattle. I like to think of it as well thought out and interesting movie-related conversation.
That is true. But, the trick to these, what I call the good ones...
The ones where they don't say, you've got 10 minutes, go.
Is that they are prepped for maybe 10 to 15 minutes of, research questions, but they evolve into a banter. Yeah. That's the fun.
Well, what I like about these ones is that I don't do any prep at all. I let you do the heavy lifting, and then I just interject with stupid jokes.
Yeah, and you're about to see that. Case in point. So we're talking to Anthony O'Connor. Do you remember a movie from 2000 called Angst? It was a bit of a big deal at the time. Like there was a big wash of angsty teenage kind of movies.
It was like a Clerks type Tarantino type.
It was right in that train.
Kind of period where everything was edgy and cool. And Love and Other Catastrophes was kind of coming out here, and
that's right,
that kind of thing. And I actually went to see this at MIF at its. I think that would have been its Australian premiere, but because I don't think Sydney Film Festival was a big thing back then, but. So MIF might have had its world premiere, but I didn't realize it. But I didn't know Abby Tucker was like while I was waiting in line. Abby Tucker was kind of right there next to me, and I was like, from there's a couple of Heartbreak High alum in this, and I was like, and then we went in, and then her boobies are revealed, and I was like, oh my god, I've seen a girl in real life, and now I've seen her boobies,
and now she's on Play School. She's awesome. I love it. As of today, Angst gets re-released tomorrow on DVD and digital.
Yeah, my father could have been saying the same thing about Noni Hazelhurst if he'd watched like Fran or Shame or something like that. And go, now she's on Play School. I'm seeing her boobies. Which is, if you know my father, very unlike him to say.
Yes, because they're on Play School, we call them boobies. We don't say tits.
Yeah. We're not crass. We're not. We're not disgusting, toxic men on this show.
By far,
we're classy.
The most stupid intro to an interview ever. Hope you enjoy it. We'll catch you on the other side.
Who's that?
Well, we don't actually know, but he bought a slab, so we let him in.
How do you guys tell each other about a nightclub?
Don't make me hurt you.
Hi. I'm Ian. Get fucked, mate. Oh,
$1,000. Tell me you wouldn't sell the cat for $1,000.
Babe, for $1,000, I'd take the cat out.
Hey, Anthony, welcome to the Good Movie Monday universe. This is where we just talk nerdy cinematic ramblings, and by the look of your t-shirt, I think you're going to fit right in.
Hello, thanks for having me. And it's not quite Monday, but it's always time to talk about good movies.
Absolutely, man. And that is what we do. And who could have thought that 25 years later, Angst to be getting a look at, like a look in. It's incredible. Would you ever thought this one would have staying power?
I really didn't. I mean, so Angst came out in the year 2000, which was, according to calendars, 25 years ago, which I find dubious, but they insist. And it was not a smash hit at the cinema, to put it delicately. I think the people that kind of engaged with the material saw it and hopefully liked it. But then it came to video, where it was this huge hit, and Australia's most stolen video, according to people in the know. This is 2000, so it's way before internet piracy became so ubiquitous, and it was stolen in every shop that we knew. We had all these people having to reorder copies and whatnot, and so we were kind of thinking, this will be like one of those kind of killer sleeper hits on DVD, which was the new format that was coming in. And this is where things get a bit vague. Companies collapsed, relationships ended, like professional relationships between various companies and distribution. So it essentially became lost media for about 25 years. And the whole time, anytime I was at a party, anytime I was kind of out anywhere in a professional capacity, at least one person would come up to me and say, "Hey, when are we going to see some kind of release of Angst?" So I knew there was an appetite for it to a degree. I knew there were fans out there. I really didn't anticipate that we'd be getting the kind of, fancy new edition and new print and all that kind of stuff. I thought at best maybe they'll make a remaster from the old VHS print. So no, it's been really delightful to see. And it was all thanks to that screening at the Inner West Film Festival, put on by Dov Kornitz and that lot. He is friends with Jonathan Green, the producer, and he's like, let's get the 35mm print, let's screen it for a new audience, see if people like it. And they did. It was great. And not just like people in our age bracket, which is just what I assumed. I assumed everyone else would be like, what the fuck is this? These old, what is this, dial-up modems and whatnot, like VHS tapes. So look, it's been really lovely. Like it's just such a nice surprise.
But you know what? I think it resonates with a newer, younger audience, because the movies they're obsessing about in the film are the same movies we're obsessing about now, sort of, on the internet. Yeah. So definitely has that longevity.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. And I think that generation, like I guess Gen Z, I don't know if that's the one after that, Gen Alpha or whatever. But I think a lot of them was starved for the kind of tactile nature of seeking films that we had when we were young, like actually going to multiple video shops and clawing through the dusty shelves and discovering something. And if it had that Badge of Honor banned in Queensland on it, like Day of the Dead did and a bunch of others, you were like, yeah, I'm renting the shit out of that one. And just that kind of feeling of searching for something, which you don't really get when you do it online. And especially when you don't get to talk to, part of the video shop experience for me, both as a customer and then for years when I worked in many of them, was the kind of back and forth with customers where I can still remember the first golf girl I ever met, who is still a friend to this day. I recommended Secret Separation with Will Smith.
I might just have to stop you for a second because your audio is cutting out.
Okay, how am I sounding now?
That sounds pretty good.
That sounds good.
Pretty good. All right. Well, let me know if it kicks out and I can just do that again. And
that's fine.
I think I was waffling about Milkman anyway, so I don't think it was.
Well, ironically, in the movie, like I noticed like the primitive dial-up internet, and it's like, well, we're not having much luck now. 25 years later.
The more things change and all that.
What was your background before this? Were you a film student? Were you a video store junkie, or were you both?
I wasn't a film student. I was a video store junkie who I remember I walked out of my kind of suit and tie job as a law clerk, which was basically a glorified gopher, and walked into the video shop that I used to go to and said, "Do you need anyone to work here?" And by weird happenstance, they did. And then I worked in I think between 6 or 8 video shops throughout Sydney. The main one being In Video in King's Cross, which had branches in Milsons Point and Balmain. And there was another one in Glebe, and there was a couple other ones scattered about. So I was, for quite a few years, the archetypal cliche of the screenwriter writing movies and working in video stores and whatnot.
And
not good
while
ones.
While you were working in these video stores, did you actually write Dead Wrong about King's Cross being overrun by zombies?
I did write, it wasn't called Dead Wrong, but I did write, I can't even remember the name of it, a script that was zombies in King's Cross, or zombies in Australia. It was all terrible though. Everything I wrote before Angst was just, here's me doing Evil Dead, or here's me doing Frank Kennelotta's Brain Damage. Like, just, the first things you write are just derivative shit. And then with Angst, I kind of like tried to write something a little more personal and a little more real and true to life, I guess, true to my actual experiences, which were very limited at that stage. I mean, it was punching cones, watching Lucio Fulci movies, and getting bad relationships.
And shaving your nose,
I was about to say, the nose tickler, was that part of the real life experience?
That really happened, but the way that Dean uses it, I hadn't tried. I just thought it would be a funny joke. But yeah, that became a whole thing. So anyone I'd meet would be just like, you'd see them like.
I was really wanting an extreme close up on his nose. I wanted to see that.
We didn't, because he doesn't actually have the fine patch of bristly hairs, and I don't think my nose would have been a good stunt nose for his, because I think we're quite different looking. So yeah, we just left that to the audience's imagination. I think you can see it better now that it's a much more high fidelity print, that he's got no nasal hairs. So I guess we could pull a George Lucas and add them in by CGI or some shit. But...
That would have been the chief casting requirement.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
will you do nudity, and do you have yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's funny though, because Ben and I both came up through the video stores as well, and we can relate to this film so much, particularly the interaction with customers and things like that. But now I'm watching it 25 years later as a much older guy. I really wanted to slap the pretentiousness out of them. Like, it really shit me. Like, particularly when he meets like Abby Tucker's character for the first time. Like, was that like you at the time? Because it was certainly us. We were pretentious at the time.
It was absolutely me at the time. And when I wrote that, I thought Dean was the good guy in most of his interactions. And now I'm like, he's kind of an insufferable prick. Yeah. Like, you see even that now. Like, you go to JB Hi-Fi, and there's usually like the one that's just a little bit in love with themselves, and it's just kind of giving you shit. And it's just like, I was that, so I find it difficult to shit on, but it's definitely annoying. So no, Dean is absolutely insufferable. I actually think it works in the film's favor, but I was completely unaware of that level of it, because I was very much that at the time.
But then she cuts his legs right out from him when she calls him Video Boy, and then it's as a stroke of genius, the store is called Video Boy.
Yeah,
right. I was like, how to deflate your sales as a film nerd working in a video store. You're like, oh, just like Quentin Tarantino, and then with my Video Boy. Like, ugh.
I mean, because we were, I mean, as much as the video shop experience was wonderful, we could be snobs as well, and to a degree that doesn't need to happen. Like, I think snobbery is probably the most boring trait imaginable now, and so just disliking something because it's popular or it's mainstream, I think, because I was completely guilty of that. You realize what a crutch that is as you get older, and you're like, oh, okay, fuck that. But at the same time, there were wonderful customers I had great interactions with, as I'm sure you did as well. Like, I mean, there was a real back and forth you could have,
and ongoing
and also sometimes
like over the
exactly
weeks,
that's right, you build relationships,
especially at
I did have that guy threaten to come in and punch my ass, though. That scene actually,
I've had it
that is verbatim to what happened. Because I wouldn't let him join. I don't know why we needed photo ID to join a video shop, but we did.
Totally. But I used to take savage glee in refusing to let people sign up because they didn't have the correct. Because it was always a crapshoot. You're like, I assume it's what movie executives go through now. Like, as long as they say no to a potential script, there's no pressure. The minute they say yes, all of a sudden, if the movie tanks, it's their ass. It's the same. You sign up a customer, and they don't come back with the tapes, even though it's totally not your fault. It still is. You get the manager, the owner going, "Why'd you sign this guy up for?" You're like, well,
Yeah.
Well, it's funny
It's
though.
clearly dodgy.
The very final day of the store, because I co-owned the store, and the day we had to close,
wow.
obviously emotions were very high. My very final customer did leap the counter and try and punch me, and so we had to close 4
Oh my
hours
God.
early. We just said, "Fuck it, we're done."
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's right.
Didn't like your recommendations?
Well, I
or,
mean,
like-
clearly, like on the final day, you're trying to recoup as many overdue fees as possible. So,
Right.
by the way, you have $600 owing. Oh, Jesus. One thing I never noticed about the poster up until now is that he's holding a fucking sex toy on the cover. Like,
Yeah. No, it was that was pretty edgy for the time. Although you will notice both it and every dildo featured in all the sex shop scenes, and there are many, are all not very anatomically correct.
Yeah.
Because at the time, to get an MA rating, is what we wanted, you couldn't show realistic looking dicks of any kind. Like, that was verboten. So we had to go into this disgusting, slimy adult store, which no longer exists, and literally just by hand replace. I mean, I didn't do it. I'm acting like I was there. It was like the costume department did it, and the people who were dressing the set. But we had to replace all of them, and they were like, I remember getting like incensed at the time because I wanted it to be as veiny as possible because that amused me. It was probably the right call not to, because again, it does feature on the poster. But that was like that was a whole thing. It was kind of hilarious.
I mean, you can buy icy poles from the milk bar that look, pretty much more anatomically correct than that.
That is true. Icy
like
poles. That is a beautiful callback. Now I want an icy pole. I just had like a sudden sense memory of just like,
I just like to think that they were all glow in the dark ones, so you could do like a was it Skin Deep-esque fight scene
Or a Star Wars ripper.
Yeah.
Well, we had the lightsaber sound effect.
Yeah.
On the dildo as he turns it off, which in 1999/2000 that brought the house down. That was, Star Wars references were few and far between back then.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of like your mum's making them.
Hey, that might be why the
at the
kids
time.
love it now.
Yeah, maybe.
Was
there were though at the screening there were 20-somethings who went up to Daniel Nettheim, the director, and they were like, "Yeah, this is great." And like Jonathan Green, the producer's kids, who were in their 20s, were like, "Oh yeah, it's great. Feels like us." And I was like, "It's not at all." Not at all you, but that's awesome that it does feel that way. I guess there are like themes that are universal for being young.
Yeah, for sure. You just mentioned Daniel Nettheim. I just wondered, are you guys still in touch? He's gone on to do some incredible things, The Hunter and Broadchurch and whatnot. I imagine though
so much TV too.
The biggest thrill of his must have been Ash vs. Evil Dead, considering the Evil Dead references in this movie.
I speak to Daniel. Jonathan and Daniel and I are still quite close. I work with Jonathan regularly. In fact, the three of us are working on something new at the moment, but it's in the very early stages. But not thematically a million miles away from Angst, to be honest, except from a slightly more seasoned perspective. He actually called me or texted me or emailed me asking about Ash vs. Evil Dead, whether I thought it would be the thing to go to, and I'm like, just slamming, yes, you must do this immediately. No, he's like a genuinely great director, does fantastic work, and like every time he works on a TV project, he elevates it slightly. I can't remember the name of what he's working on at the moment, but it's a kind of Lovecraftian cosmic horror type of thing, I think, for Stan. I hope that's right.
Cool.
So I'm hugely looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So now, the most important question of the whole interview, out of Glenn and I, which one is the puppiest puppy dog?
See, I feel like immediately I would say it's Ben.
Yep.
But I think Glenn has like a hidden puppy dogness. He tries to hide. I feel like I recognize that. Like,
I just rub off against your leg. That's all I
Glenn
do.
Glenn is my Snortles the piglet.
It's a close thing either way.
Oh my god,
for sure.
Was Angst always the title?
It used to be called Angst for the Memories, which was somehow worse. And so understand, I started writing this when I was 19. So, it was, this was not the work of someone who was self-conscious. Like when you write at 19, you're very much just like, everything I've ever thought is here. So we had to sort of cobble the script into shape over a few years. I don't think we should have called it Angst either in retrospect, because it didn't pass the taxi driver test back when you took taxis. So I remember what do you do writing a movie? What's the movie called? Angst. Blank stare, no recognition. And I'm like, I think this might be a problem. Even more of a problem now because of the recent release of the 1983 Austrian film Angst, which would be an interesting double bill, I think. Just play one after the other. I don't know what order you want to go in. So in retrospect, we should have probably called it Video Boy, but at the time, I think there was Mall Boy and maybe Wog Boy then.
Yeah.
I'm getting my timeline there. And I don't think we wanted to call it Something Boy because everything was Something Boy. But yeah, it's possibly not your not the best title to go for.
I do feel like there were a whole bunch of really short titled movies at that time, though. Like I feel like you're sort of hitting some kind of zeitgeist of sorts.
There was a certain zeitgeist for sure. But no, it was.
Go on.
I was just going to say that was generally the title was going to be something with angst.
Around that year too. You go, Ben. We're cutting each other off now.
You go, that's fine.
I was going to say in the year 2000, you also had Cut came out, which had Sam Lewis and Jessica Napier in it as well. And then you had Sample People come out, which had Kylie Minogue from Cut in it. Did these productions cross over at all?
I actually did some additional dialogue for Sample People for director Clinton Smith. Not heaps, but like I did a lot of script punch up then.
Enough to be credited,
particularly. Enough to be credited, yeah.
All the cool stuff. All the cool dialogue.
Yeah.
That was me.
That was me. Anything you didn't like, that was a bunch of other guys. I didn't have anything to do with Cut other than I went for that job too to write it and I didn't get it. And I was, this was the kind of mindset I had. Like I was like 21 and I thought I'd get that gig and I was bitterly disappointed when like a much more talented and seasoned writer and director got it. But no, I really wanted to be part of that because that's like you gotta understand. In the late 90s and early 2000s, Australia was not making horror movies, aggressively not making horror movies. And I used to go to meetings all the time, usually with Jonathan, talking about future projects, trying to pitch horror stuff. And I was told in no uncertain terms, there will never be a big Australian horror film, in those words. And the other one, there will never be a mainstream zombie film. That was the producer at Fox told me that. There will never be a mainstream zombie film. And I remember my brain at the time just went, record this for later. It's going to become ironic one day, I swear. And of course, that has proven to be nonsense. Now zombies are so big, people are sick of them.
I'm going to get this printed.
Right.
To that guy's funeral.
Absolutely. But yeah, so like the genre space then in Australia was non-existent. So just every job was this kind of shining diamond to chase after. I love Australian horror now. It's so great. The Philippou brothers in particular. I mean, Talk to Me and Bring It Back is just such an amazing 1-2 punch. You get that frisson of pride because we're so good at movies generally in Australia, and of course we've had amazing genre films. Your Mad Maxes, your Razorbacks, your Bad Boy Bubbies, and whatnot. But just to see this kind of consistent output of just ass-kicking genre films and Late Night with the Devil as well, like just. Yeah, love it.
Yeah. I feel like the Philippous have really raised the bar for themselves, but I have no doubt they'll just leap right over it with the next one.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I heard they were doing a documentary or something before they do another film, but that might just be...
So just circling back, so was it just pure coincidence that your two leads from Angst ended up being in Cut?
Yeah, so what you end up having, and you see it now in a lot of TV shows, actors tend to have a moment, and they have their sort of moment in the sun, and they tend to get cast in like 5 things. It's like if you watch a lot of TV regularly, like, hey, that's the guy from The Thing with the thing. I think that's just what that was.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the same casting agents or it was just they seemed suitable for the role. But yeah, like right in a row, it was weird to have that kind of crossover there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Sam and Jess were great in Cut. I didn't dislike Cut. When I finally saw it, I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I would have done it differently.
I think that's how everybody reacted to that movie when it came out.
Yeah. So I definitely did not see it with an open heart because I was so mad not to get that job. I was like, oh, damn it. I wanted that so bad.
Before I sort of pivot to wrap things up with a different question outside of the Angst sort of conversation, do you have any like lasting memories on Angst that are like stories that are worth sharing? Just about, were you on set all the time with this one?
I wasn't on set all the time. I did live quite close to where they shot in the Cross. So when they did all the exteriors in the Cross, and also I played Toaster Junkie.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Back when I had
do you want to buy a toaster?
cheekbones and all that kind of stuff.
Four
slices of bread at the same time.
And
crumpets.
I mean, that was an amazing shoot. So you gotta understand, we were in King's Cross 1999. This is a different King's Cross to it is. I know people got killed with coward punches and whatnot, but it was the most stabby, druggy, hoary place that you could walk down. You could not move 5 feet without being offered a root or heroin or a punch in the head. These were the 3 things you could get very easily in King's Cross.
Did you get a choice?
All 3 if you weren't careful. Sometimes you didn't. So we had to hire a person who was, let's call it what it is, a gangster, to basically walk ahead of us when we were walking down the street and telling people to leave us alone and it's cool. So people are, like, we got the crew, they're holding like 35 millimeter cameras, like 35, like the film, old school film cameras, heavy as shit. I mean, it's why it looks so gorgeous, but like heavy, hard to maneuver cameras. And I've got like a fake latex cold sore and I'm all ratty looking and my hair's unwashed because they were like, don't wash for a couple of days before you do this. And I'm doing kind of shambling and hey mate, you want a toaster? I look like I absolutely belong. like they were filming a documentary about junkies or some shit. And it was amazing. Like I think I did it in like 2 takes. Like so, and I'm not an actor, so it was that was great. But just the vibe of it was so kind of guerrilla, despite like the talent like Daniel Nettheim and the cinematographer Tristan Milani. Despite the talent behind the camera, it really felt like this kind of on the edge guerrilla kind of thing. It was late at night too. Like I don't know what time, but like crazy o'clock. And I never forget just the vibe of it in a King's Cross that just doesn't exist now. It really was just an extraordinary feeling. The other one that I remember, sorry to piggyback another one, but I was not aware they were dressing the exterior of the video shop where I worked as video boy the night that they did it. So I had gone to a goth club and I had come back pretty, I'd been at a goth club all night, and I staggered down the street, the alley really, that was where In Video was, and In Video had been changed to Video Boy with the Video Boy mascot up there and whatnot. And I had one of those kind of existential moments of like, did I have a stroke? Am I slipped into my own fucking imagination? Have I become so indulgent as to ascend my own fundament? And I'm sure they told me. I'm sure Dan and Jonathan said they were dressing it tonight, but I was not aware. So that, I mean, those are the ones that stuck out. But I mean, there's so many. It was a really extraordinary shoot, and an extraordinary time in kind of Sydney history because everything changed so quickly after that. VHS became DVD, became fucking nothing, became no video shops in startling rapidity, and just the entire nature of the Cross changed within such a few short years. So yeah, I do remember this kind of weird place and time that we all inhabited with no idea that what we were doing, and the monorail too. We were like, oh, I always wanted to see in the monorail because I used to like taking dates in the monorail. It was just a fun little, you chat, you're moving around, there's change scenery. And all of that was gone within years of the film coming out. Like it really is a look into kind of past Sydney, which is kind of fascinating.
I should also thank you for making home invasions sexy.
Absolutely. When you think about what like when you objectively think about what Dean and May do, it's super fucked up. Like nothing is cool about what they do. What's even more hilarious is the real life inspiration for Heather, the ex-girlfriend, is a dear friend of mine still for some reason. And I mean, we lost touch for like a long time and then sort of got back in contact significantly after the movie had come out. And so now, we did, she was actually at the screening and she's kind of looking over at me when like I start shitting on, or Dean starts shitting on Heather saying, worst girlfriend in the world ever. And she's like looking at me like, really, motherfucker? Really? Yeah, so why don't you just jizz on my fucking soft toys then?
But, yeah. She kind of, like, Abby Tucker's not wrong. Yeah. You deserve the reason she has them. It's totally justified. I actually, speaking of old friends and this film, a good friend of mine, Isabel Peppard. I noticed her name pop up
Hey,
on the credits, and I
so
was like, oh my God, Izzy.
Izzy and I go way back, and she actually did the goth makeup. I think she supervised the goth makeup or did it herself. The memories are a little vague there, but it's one of the two. 'Cause she wanted we all wanted May to look like an actual goth looks like, not kind of not like more goth from movies and TV where you're just like no, like someone who could actually walk in and out of a goth club and whatnot. And she did. She did her up, and we went to a club and just to see if the vibe fit, and the vibe fit. So it was great. But she did an amazing work. She's an amazing artist. Like her short films and her sculpture work is just extraordinary. Every time she's got something new come out, I'm just front of the line. So yeah, she was amazing.
100%. Makeup is a really good segue here, because the question I wanted to sort of wrap things up on was you also wrote Red Ink, which is also called Inhuman Resources, and Tom Savini was a part of that at some point. And we've spoken to a few people, and we've heard really good Tom Savini stories and really terrible Tom Savini stories. What was your experience working with him?
Oh man, I've been a Tom Savini fan since I was a kid. The idea of this guy that can be like a special effects maker, but also an actor, a director, a stuntman, and just like a big muscle, strong dude, a sex machine, indeed. So one of my dear friends, who's actually about to come back to the country, Jody, married Tom Savini. I don't know if it was me talking about him endlessly that made it happen. I suspect not. So we sort of she said, come and meet Tom, at it was like a convention, something in Darling Harbour, some kind of film thing. And I couldn't speak to him properly. Like I just sat there for a while, sweaty, and was like, and eventually he managed to drag conversation out of me and whatnot. And then when Jonathan got him on for supervising makeup special effects with the MEG group, who are amazing Aussie artists, special effects guys, they did like The Matrix and Man Thing and just like amazing stuff. So he was working with them, supervising them on set, and it was extraordinary. What people don't get about Tom Savini is they think he's going to be this like murder horny dude who's like, yeah, I want to see the guts. Absolutely, he's like an old school Hollywood kind of guy. Like he likes romances and musicals and classic golden age Hollywood cinema and whatnot. And so if you're just gonna go up to him and say, have you seen Stabby Killer Bitch 19 in 3D, he probably hasn't seen it, and he's probably not that interested. But if you just want to talk about film and love and art and life, like he is absolutely the man to talk to about that. And so that was my experience of him. He's coming to Australia in December, I believe. So I'm going to see him then. And yeah, he's just, with his time, he is generous and just a gentle gentleman has been my experience. I don't know. Like I know a couple of people have had interactions they didn't love so much with him at conventions or whatever. But for me, you're always worried about meeting your heroes, and I met mine, and I realize I'm glazing him spectacularly here, but he really did become a friend, and a fantastic creative, and he gave so much to Red Ink as well. Like that was a low ass budget film, and he helped. There's a thing on YouTube I put up. It's got like 9 views. Where you actually see him direct the gore scene, where the director Daniel Krieger has his throat slit and spurts everywhere. So look for The Death of Guy Marr, Guymarr, and you just see the kind of passion and kind of just hands-on qualities that he brings to film. So yeah, I got a great deal of time for Tom. And people who had bad interactions with him, I'm sorry that sucks for you, but
we prefer the good stories, so that's another.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You've balanced the scales in that direction.
Yeah, and now I have to search out Stabby Killer Bitch 19 in 3D.
It sounds good, right? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, there's something there.
There's there.
I feel like that's kind of like the Terrifier films, right? Like I feel like those Kill Stabby Bitch. Like I'm not against them or anything like that, but I kind of feel that's the vibe of those flicks.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Although you have missed you missed the opportunity for like a legacy sequel or sidequel of Toaster Boy.
I know. Listen, I everything I write, I write like something afterwards. I write like a treatment for a potential sequel, and I did write one for Angst called Sweaty, Confused, and Slightly Aroused.
Amazing.
But obviously,
great.
But obviously, it did not manifest and all that kind of stuff.
Hey,
I
but
did have a thought for a while of it'd be interesting to have a legacy sequel where Dean doesn't become like a screenwriter and Ian does become like a Jim Jeffries type comedian, and just have their kind of like weird kind of with each other, how they they're a bit, Dean's maybe a bit jaded and bitter about it, and maybe Ian's not so much enjoying that life.
I think Ben's living that sequel. He's the video boy at home. Look,
right.
have a look at him.
And Jess is still refusing to get a job.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I didn't quite know where to take everyone else's things, but I just thought that'd be an interesting thing, because everyone, I remember over the years people were like, it'd be great to see him, become like this big famous screenwriter. I'm like, I didn't want to do like a Dawson's Creek. I wanted to do like what if that shit didn't work at all? Like that would be an interesting story to me.
I guess the way you could do something is to write a film that in your mind is a sequel, give them the same names, and just don't announce that it's a sequel. Let people join the dots later. That'd be cool.
Kind of what I'm working on at the moment does have like spiritual sequel elements to it, but it's definitely not the same characters at all. But just kind of that vibe. The thing that struck me about watching Angst, because honestly, watching it now, it feels like it was written by some other dude. Mm-hmm. Like I barely recognize. There's a couple of lines where I'm like, I kicked ass there, but most of the time it's like, what the fuck is this? And yeah, I was struck by how hard on its sleeve it was, in a way that I think at the time I would viciously and vehemently deny. Yeah. Like I was like, it's not a rom-com. Fuck off. It's edgy. It's not really, mate. It's not really. It's actually quite a sweet, heartfelt film that just happens to have, Lucio Fulci, references and dick jokes. So yeah, I was kind of pleased with that, because that was something that I'd maybe forgotten over the years.
Yeah.
I think maybe I was focused more on the comedy than I was on the heart, and so it's nice to see the heart remains an ascendant part of it.
Well, mate, that's the perfect place to leave things on. I think you've
sold it. Before you wrap it up, what are we watching tonight? Evil Dead, Suspiria, The Beyond, or Night of the Living Dead?
I mean, you can't go wrong with any of them. But I did recently rewatch, I should say, the brand new 4K of The Beyond, the very expensive Sell a Kidney version. And that is a film that it's just, what I love about Fulci is it's such a beautiful, gorgeous, like every frame a painting, that old, chestnut, in service of a script that like no one went, Lucio, what the fuck is any of this? Yeah. Like, why is this? Why are the spiders slow motion attacking him? And like, all this, why is the pool of acid? But it's just 90 something minutes of dream logic beauty. And I love it. I just think it's just a wonderful expression. So if you're going to pick one of those, I would say start with The Beyond, and then maybe have a few cones and skew into Evil Dead. Yes. Because there's never a bad time to watch The Evil Dead.
I mean, there's always room for some good eye trauma in an evening.
Love the ocular trauma, did Lucio? I tell you. Are you guys watching the Welcome to Derry?
Some of the best horror I've seen on screen in a long time.
So I don't know if you saw last night's, but I was watching that going, Lucio Fulci would have loved this, man. So there's a Fulci-esque sequence that I was like, we are truly in the golden age of genre television, my friends.
I was saying to Ben, because we've both started it. I think I'm one episode ahead of him, and it's just some of the most glorious and delicious horror I've seen committed to screen in a long time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I know people that quibble about the CGI, and it's ropey at times, but how many films do we love that have ropey practical effects?
Yeah.
Do you look now? I mean, The Beyond, the spiders, like there's like 3 real spiders, and then there's like a puppet spider, It's not realistic looking, but it's fucking amazing.
It's the concept here that sells it, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So that's you just have to adopt that, because it's not there's not less art because there's CGI. It's just that is the technology that we're working with now.
I find it so amazing that the horror in that series is more full on than they would do in a film, because similar to Angst, they would worry about the rating and advertising and all that sort of, what can we trailer it in front of and all that sort of stuff. Then they go to TV, and now TV can be more full on,
which ironically any kid can turn on to and just watch.
Watch it whatever they want.
We actually found that sort of around Red Ink as well. Like, people aren't reactive to gore the way they used to be. And I think shows like Game of Thrones and, more importantly, The Walking Dead really shifted the needle in terms of what you can get away with. Whatever you think of the show, that featured like a staggering amount of beautifully realized Greg Nicotero gore. In a way, like if you had told like the Anthony who wrote Angst at that age, like, by the way, there's going to be like the most popular show in the world, or the second most popular show in the world, will be about zombies. It'll run for fucking ever, and Greg Nicotero will try to outdo himself with gore every week. You know, I would have lost my damn mind. It's such a different environment. And you know, for television, we are eating well, and we're eating well for genre at the cinema too. I mean, God, it's been a great year. Weapons, come on!
Yeah, I know.
You guys like Weapons, right?
Yeah.
That came out this year. I feel like I've seen that film so many times already, but yeah, just this year, crazy.
Yeah, it is
greatest chase scene since Bullet.
Absolutely.
In Weapons. Fantastic.
Anthony, thanks so much for making some time to chat with little old us.
Thank you. Thanks sorry about the audio footage. I hope that you can cut around that.
It'll work for us. It'll work for us. Don't you worry. Okay. But yeah, no, your film takes us down a nostalgic path that was very well worth the trip. So thank you.
Oh, awesome, man. Thanks very much.
2021. The lyrics to Advanced Australia Fair are changed from "We are young and free" to "We are one and free." Take that, boomers!
All right, Ben, it's time to talk about the year 2021, the movies that were, what our favourites are. I'm going to cut straight to the chase before I even do the box office stuff. Last week, Chad from the Boneheads, he jumped the gun and nominated Riders of Justice as his favourite of 2020. But the movie actually was not released until 2021 and 2022 in certain parts. It had one little release in 2020 at a film festival in the Netherlands, I think it was, or Denmark or something like that. So when I was listening back to him after the fact, I'm like, oh shit, how did I forget to put Riders of Justice as my favourite?
Yeah, and how could I forget? And just now add it to my What's Glenn's picks for this year.
So, I mean, suck on that, Chad. I did raise it with him during the week, and he's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, you can't trust Wikipedia. I mean, look, they always told us, like, Wikipedia was around when I was in school.
Yep.
So I'm not as old as people seem to think I am.
Well.
But, no, I am. But they always said don't use Wikipedia as a source. It's unreliable. Anyone can jump in and edit it. It's not like an proper encyclopedia. You cannot reference it in your essays.
I was about to say, it's not Encyclopedia in Carter.
Carter, yeah.
I used to watch that for the clips, the movie clips.
Yeah. It's like, Cinemania.
Oh, my God, Cinemania. Far out.
The greatest program known to man.
Now you're aging us.
Yeah. Well, like IMDb is a rip-off of Cinemania. Cinemania was far superior.
Yes.
But now, as we have learnt on this show, once again, cannot trust what Wikipedia says about release dates.
I mean, you take everything we say on the show with a grain of salt anyway.
I think we're both full of shit.
We are. Totally. We just don't get called out as much as we probably should.
It's because no one listens.
All right, let's go through the global box office. Again, as of last week.
Films?
No, the US, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, no. We'll go through the American because the global one is full of Chinese films. Far out. So at number 10, we had Ghostbusters Afterlife. Number 9, we had A Quiet Place 2. Number 8, No Time to Die. 7 was Sing 2. 6 was The Eternals. Number 5 was F9, Fast and the Furious 9. Number 4 was Black Widow. 3 was Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Number 2 was Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Jesus.
Kind of Chinese. And number 1 was Spider-Man No Way Home.
Right.
So that is a pretty abysmal year, I think.
I can't believe that Venom beat a Bond movie.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I do like that Ghostbusters Afterlife is in there because that impressed me, that movie. It was the legacy sequel I had hoped for.
Is that not on your list of movies?
It probably should be, but it's not. But if you were to say it, I will grant it.
Well, then I'll...
I've got a sizable list this week. Just quickly brush through some of the things that got released this year that you may have forgotten about. Shadow in the Cloud. The Dig, Wrong Turn. Finding Ohana. That one was like a Goonies remake. I really liked that one. It was very different. Willy's Wonderland. Tom
You
and
like
Jerry.
that one? You like it every night?
Coming to America. Raya and the Last
two?
Dragon. Yes. Chaos Walking, Boss Levels, Zack Snyder's Justice League. You got any there?
Yeah, Shiver Baby, Thunder Force, Without Remorse came out. Free Guy, Happily,
Yep.
the Joel McHale movie. Coda, I think won the Oscar or came close to it.
Yep.
Queen Pins, I know you love that one. Voyeurs, everybody, well, every male person saw Voyeurs.
Yes.
At least a couple of scenes in Voyeurs. Cry Macho came out. Prisoners of Ghostland, it's the second Nicolas Cage movie of the year.
That's right. Yes. I like that one. It was different.
Yeah,
it was very
certainly
much
different.
an Escape from New York type of thing, wasn't it? Fear Street 1, 2, and 3 all came out 1 month apart from each other. We had the Gunpowder Milkshake, Snake Eyes, Joe Bell. A movie I actually liked more than I thought I would was Jungle Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
That was quite fun. Coda, Annette, Candyman. Yeah, Malignant, there's heaps.
Yeah, King Richard, House of Gucci, Finch, French Dispatch, June, The
Yeah.
Last Duel, Halloween Kills.
But you're not here to listen to us just list off movies. You're here for us to guess what our favourites are. I have for you, I've picked like 7 or 8 there, and I've got about 8 or 9 that I've picked as my favourites of that year.
Okay.
This time, I think you should go first and try and guess mine. Oh, you want it the
All
other way
right.
around?
No,
do you?
it's fine. No. Well, I'll go with one that I think is an obvious, well, Riders of Justice.
Yeah, that is obvious.
The Sparks Brothers.
That is in there, my friend.
The Dry.
No.
Red Rocket.
Nope.
Nobody.
Nope.
Licorice Pizza.
Yep.
Mad God.
Nope.
8-Bit Christmas.
Yes.
Val.
Nope.
And Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Like I said, that could easily go in there.
That's what I had.
Not
That's
bad.
what I had.
Not bad. You got a couple. So I had, going from top to bottom, Riders of Justice, The Sparks Brothers, Licorice Pizza, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, right.
I really like that one. Mitchells versus the Machines. Excellent, excellent movie.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you would love that one. It's an animated film, but really fucking good. Wrath of Man. And we had Benny Loves You, which is the one about the little teddy bear that comes to life and starts hacking people up with a knife.
Yeah.
Love that. Benny Loves You. Pig.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
And 8-Bit Christmas. 8-Bit Christmas, if you haven't seen it, now is the season, obviously. It is a remake of A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Instead of wanting a BB gun, he wants Nintendo, the original NES. And it's set in the 80s. Fantastic movie. Really, really fucking good.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I have.
Yeah.
We had a big conversation about it at the time, I think.
You and
back
I?
in 2021. You and I and Jarret. Because I think it was
yes.
Jarrett's,
Yes.
like one of Jarrett's top films of the year as well.
Yeah, I don't remember it at all.
I think he may have even I don't know if he came in for the show. Maybe that was the Christmas episode.
I think you guys he
Maybe.
he came while talking about it. Inappropriate.
He 8-bitted. In 256 colours.
And then he wandered out. All right, going to guess yours, Ben.
Yep.
Wrath of Man.
Yes.
Fear Street.
Yes, all three of them.
Excellent. Pig.
No.
Cop Shop.
No.
I thought you really loved that. Okay. The Last Duel.
Cop Shop.
Maybe it was Jarret that was talking up Cop Shop. It was somebody.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay. And Tick Tick Boom.
Yes.
And Nightmare Alley.
Yes.
Okay, not
So
bad.
you're pretty close.
What else you got?
I also had Coming Home in the Dark.
Yep.
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yep.
Drive My Car,
Yep.
which I really rated. Hellbender,
Mm-hmm.
the movie by the Addams Family.
Mm-hmm.
Licorice Pizza.
Yeah.
And you've said the others. And
Yeah.
Coming Home in the Dark. Did I say that?
Yeah,
Coming
you
Home
did.
in the
You
Dark.
did. Excellent. Well, now it's time to see what the Boneheads reckon. We'll throw it to them. Now.
Welcome to Bonehead Weekly Fun Size, and this week we're doing the year 2021. These are getting a little tougher as we go for me, but this one was really easy because there was 2 movies that I really liked. But James, you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. I'm going to go with one that I didn't know I'd actually go with. But as I was looking at the list, I was like, you know what? That's one that stuck with me, and I'm going to go with it. And oddly enough, it didn't premiere in theaters, at least not in the United States. But it's a great movie, and that's The Mitchells versus the Machines.
Oh, it is so good.
It really
is. It is
That's
better
another
than
one
it
about-
has any right to be. And I remember watching it with my family, and we were nearing post-COVID. I guess we were post-COVID, but it was still a lot of stuff was going on, and I just remember watching it, and just it was better than it had any right to be. It's got a great story, and it felt like an actual family. That seems like a family that is real, and that's very rare that you see that in film. So I just appreciated Mitchell versus Machines.
Yep, I agree.
I'm going to say a couple of honorable mentions just for the fact that they were so good, but I couldn't put that as my number one because in 2021, nobody came out, and it's becoming one of my favorite action films of all time. So Bob Odenkirk as the less likely hero that you would ever anticipate, a man in his middle age, doesn't even look like he's made to be an action hero, just comes in and just blast everybody away in the movie. It's phenomenal. And like I said, it's one of those movies where it's an hour and a half and that's all you need. It didn't need to be padded. So yeah, I just love Nobody.
It's a good movie. I can't believe James didn't pick this one, but Pig.
I that was the second one, but I was like, no, I'm going to go with the one.
If you had, my honorable mention will be what I was going to say, but James didn't pick this one. So Pig is Nicolas Cage's best performance.
Yeah, it's on my list.
It's his best performance in any movie. I'm just going to go, and that movie shouldn't work.
Yeah, it shouldn't, but it does. It was right behind Nobody. I mean, 2021 it was a packed year for me. So I just had to go with Nobody just because that's the one movie I go to regularly to watch just for amusement.
Honorable mentions, James.
Honorable mentions. Yeah, go ahead. Because honestly, I want to say, what was it? The Last Days of Macbeth? Was that the Macbeth that came out that year?
Mm-hmm.
Was well done, but it's nothing that really.
Chad?
Macbeth exists already.
There's too many to list for me, but if these are two of the lesser knowns, if you haven't seen these from 2021, please take the time to check out Antlers and Small Engine Repair.
Antlers is good.
Both movies are phenomenal.
I do have one, and I almost forgot to say it because me and 3 other people saw it in the United States. Cyrano with Peter Dinklage is a different take on it, and making it a musical was better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, a Small Engine Repair is gut wrenching, so I highly recommend watching it.
Mine is The Green Knight, a movie I saw in the theater that there's a part of it that doesn't work, but the parts of it that work about just learning how to be a damn man and grow up, because that's what that movie was about to me, just worked for me really well. So The Green Knight. This has been Bonehead Weekly Fun Size.
Get rid of that smoke. And it's time for a movie battle, Ben. It's something we do every week. If you're new to the show, we just pit 2 movies against each other.
And I'm glad that for the movie battle beginning the Christmas period, we've chosen 2 of the sleaziest films ever made.
That's right. There's always got to be an underline of sleaze on the show. And for the first time ever, we actually have a physical representation of the battle. So we have, in front of us, we have Reform Schoolgirls and Caged Heat. Boom, boom. There we go.
It's basically, I like to think of it, even though they're made in reverse order, Chained Heat, Sybil Danning is one of the prisoners.
Yes.
And in Reform School Girls, she's the warden.
I know.
It's a coming of age.
So talk about this connection, like why you chose this as a battle.
Because I'm a dirty, sleazy pervert.
So Caged Heat is 1974, produced by Roger Corman, directed by Jonathan Demme. It's his film debut. He's the guy that went on to make many things, including Silence of the Lambs, starring Juanita Brown, Roberta Collins, Erica Gavin, Ella Reed, Rainbow Smith, Barbara Steele. What are you shaking your head at?
None of those things.
What do you mean none of those things?
None of those things are right.
None of those things are right? What are you talking about?
Chained Heat was made in 1983.
Oh, I watched the wrong movie.
It stars Linda Blair, John Vernon, Tamara
I watched the wrong
Dobson.
movie, which is about a reform school.
Right.
Okay, so we're putting another one on the screen. Bam! Caged Heat, 1974.
Yeah, did I say Caged Heat or did I say Chained Heat in the doc? Now I don't know.
I thought it was... Anyway, let's do a screen wipe and check it out. All right, so the battle is done. There is no battle to be had because I have not watched Chained Heat. But that's okay. We can still talk about these movies.
You have missed out, my friend. Because
Or have I? Because I have seen Caged Heat.
Well, because if you thought Reform Schoolgirls was sleazy, and let's talk about Reform Schoolgirls first.
Okay, so yeah, you go through it.
Made in '86, directed by Tom DeSimone, the man who also gave us such belters as Savage Streets, Hellhole, and Angel 3: The Final Chapter, all of which I think, except for Hellhole, we've discussed in depth on this show. It stars Linda Carroll, who is a mess now, I believe. Wendy O. Williams, who is dead now. Pat Ast, also dead. Sybil Danning, not sure. And
Almost.
And Sherry Stoner, who went on to like this phenomenal animation career as a screenwriter, as a writer and a voice artist.
Yep.
And it's basically what's the tagline? So young, so bad, so what? And it's basically these three women that get stuck in a, and that's like, despite the fact that this 100% nude showers, violent acts of lesbian rape, rampant lesbianism, knife fights, regular rape, all that sort of stuff. All of these girls, and I texted you at the time, I didn't realize it when I'd watched this as a kid on late night TV. They're all under the age of 18.
As characters.
Yeah, because this is set in a reform school, like where the opening scene where the main girl gets kind of arrested and thrown into the judge is like, I should throw them, even though this is your first offense and you were just waiting outside in the car, I should throw the book at you and send you to real prison like an adult. But the law says I can't, so I'm sentencing you to 18 months at reform school. And there's absolutely, I will say this, zero schooling in this film.
Yeah, there's no educational benefit
No.
whatsoever. And no reform, really.
No.
Look, to be honest with you, like, this is obviously one of those iconic VHS covers that you sort of grow up with. And I think that's the best thing it's got going for it. Like, I used to love this movie as a teenager. Watched it again like last week in preparation for this, and just really did not care for it anymore. I really did not care for it anymore.
Like, even the only thing that really took me out of the film as a kid, well, as a teenager and now, is that Wendy O. Williams is clearly 30.
Yeah.
Like, she has, like, admittedly, she has the body of a teenager if a teenager had fake tits, but she.
That's because you've eclipsed it. You've gone from being young, looking up to these girls, to being old, now looking down.
Yeah. I mean, she still has a face.
You went from upskirt to down top.
Yeah. And there's a weird look. There is a Pat Ast plays Edna, the vicious kind of matron of the.
She's
school.
the one on the cover doing this.
Yeah, she's the one on the cover doing that. There is an upskirt of her towards the end of the film.
Yeah, look, I went on and watched Caged Heat from 1974. Look, it's a mind fuck of a movie. It really is. I didn't care for it either, and all I could think of it watching it was this was Jonathan Demme, like the guy that made some great stuff. Even Philadelphia, he went on to make some really, really important films. And this is a Roger Corman exploitation movie, and it's got dream. Like, Barbara Steele has a dream sequence, like she fantasizes about herself, which is hilarious. She plays like she's paralyzed, and she has this dream sequence where she can walk, but instead of just walking, she's in like lingerie and she's getting herself off, and it's like
That's amazing.
She's taken the dream a little too far. Basically the same as Reform Schoolgirls, really. Like, it's a very similar film, so that's why I had no idea that I'd messed up.
You watched the wrong film. Well, look, you missed out, and I do recommend watching Chained Heat because it is rare that even I was shocked at the blatant, over-the-top, sleazy violence and antisocial behavior going on in Chained Heat. It is a phenomenally nasty film.
I tell you what, it makes a bit of sense because way back when we first proposed this battle, I remember looking up the posters and thinking, oh, Linda Blair, another one of those exploitation films. And then when I went to watch it last week, I'm like, what happened to Linda Blair? Like, I thought she was in it.
She would have been like 16.
Well, I'm thinking too, like, or maybe it was just a lookalike on the cover. I have no idea. But no, I was wrong.
So, directed by Paul Nicholas, Chained Heat stars Linda Blair, John Vernon, Sybil Danning, Tamara Dobson, a.k.a. Cleopatra Jones, Stella Stevens, Henry Silver, Monique Gabrielle turns up, and Edie Williams, who is literally there. Like both, Monique Gabrielle is there. She gets killed in the first kind of 10 minutes.
Yep.
She's there to get her tits out, have sex with John Vernon, and then get violently killed.
Immediately better film.
Monique Gabrielle, sorry, not Monique Gabrielle, Edie Williams, who I always thought was the wife of Russ Meyer.
Right.
She is there for the weird pseudo-lesbian shower scenes where it's very kind of, even though they're completely naked and the camera does not, like, it doesn't zoom in, but it doesn't zoom out either, if you know what I mean.
It's almost like we did watch the same movie, to be honest with you.
You see.
I saw a Persian rug.
I was going to say, to quote Ford Fairlane, you can. What's it? No, hang on. What's the? You got to shave to wear a dress like that, and I don't mean the legs. No, but you can read her lips. Basically, is what I'm trying to get out. But yet they don't touch each other really in this lesbian scene. It's so weird. But look, there's a prison guard that sells a female prison guard that sells the inmates to male prison guards, and then watches them be violently raped while licking her lips and touching herself. There's John Vernon is the warden, and what's happening is he's getting upset because someone else is moving in on his drug trade. He's supplying the prison with drugs, and he's using Tamara Dobson and all the black inmates to distribute it.
Yep.
And Stella Stevens, who's the head guard, is having an affair with the prison doctor played by Henry Silva. And they are bringing in their own drugs while also taking the women out of prison and prostituting them at fancy parties.
Man,
it is just, and there is like almost. I want to say, what shall we say? 95-minute runtime. I reckon 40 minutes of it takes place in a shower.
Excellent. Emphasis on the exploitation here, people.
Yeah.
We're not just perverts. These movies were exploitation. Like they were made.
I mean, there's a reason why the women in prison genre took off. These two movies are prime examples of it.
3 movies.
These 3 movies, yeah.
I'll let you decide the winner of this one.
The thing is, you didn't even pick it when we pulled out this.
No. I didn't even really look at it. Like, meh. Moving on. Gotta be moving on. What's the winner?
But in my mind, look, Chained Heat.
Okay.
Chained Heat is just like Reform School Girls is lovely and sleazy, but Chained Heat is something else.
I mean, when you think of it, Cage Heat and Chained Heat would have been a great battle.
Yeah. And there's The Naked Cage. There's 99 Women. There's so many of these films that are just so good.
Let's bring it home, Ben. We're in the final leg of the show. Recommendations. We will each pick a movie that we recommend you watch. If you do, jump onto our social media and let us know what you thought of these movies.
Thanks, Captain Exposition.
Can you tell I'm done? I'm ready to finish. Can I go first, please?
I feel like you already have, metaphorically, on my leg.
Too much heat. Just too much.
Too much.
All right, I'm gonna recommend a documentary. This one dropped recently onto, I believe it was Apple Plus.
Please don't tell me it's the Marlon Brando one.
No, it's not. It is the one that Ben Stiller directed called Stiller and Meara. The Nothing Is Lost. Fantastic documentary all about his parents, Jerry Stiller and Ann Meara. And the crux of the story is Ben Stiller and his sister are cleaning out their apartment, and they've got to decide what they want to keep, what they want to auction. And what they discover is that Jerry Stiller was a massive hoarder of archives. He recorded his whole life, like everything, whether it was on cassette tape or videotape. If you could pinpoint a conversation they've had anywhere in their life, he had it. Like, he must have just been walking around with this bloody thing. And it's all in the film. Like, they just, open this absolute treasure trove of stuff. So it's then Ben Stiller and his sister and Ben Stiller's wife, ex-wife. They kind of still live together. What's her name? Christine.
Marsha Brady.
That's right, Marsha Brady. And of course, Ben Stiller's...
Something really generic.
Ben Stiller's kids in here. And the discovery as it goes is that Ben Stiller, looking at his dad's life, is seeing him through the eyes of his children, how his children see him, and he realized he's turned into his dad. He's got the same problems. He's got the same narcissism. He's got the same kind of attention-seeking attitude. He overworks. He ignores his kids, and they let him have it on camera. You know, they take this opportunity. You can tell we've been waiting for this for a long time to really tell you what we think of you. And you know, because he's directing this film and he's on camera, he's like he doesn't really know how to react in these moments. But it's a real truth pill that he has to swallow. Fantastic doco, just for the archival stuff and just to see what kind of personality Jerry Stiller was, because most people below a certain age will only know him as, you know, George Costanza's dad.
Yeah,
Festivus for the rest of us. You know?
The King of Queens.
That's right.
The dad from King of Queens.
But he had spent his whole life feeling he wasn't good enough.
You want a piece of me?
He was so desperate for attention and for fame, and never quite reached.
Never quite.
You know,
I got a lot of problems with you people, and today you're going to hear about it.
But what a great feeling it must have been to have broken through with Seinfeld and become like something mega.
It's the bra. That's the bro.
But also, like, Anne Mirror was this really classy woman that was always in the shadow of Jerry Stiller. Yeah. And she was clearly more talented.
Do they talk about the movie that they all did together with John Cusack?
They talk about so much.
The one where he has to catch up to his girlfriend who's gone on. He thinks he's flunking school and has to stay for summer school. And his girlfriend goes on a cruise to Jamaica.
No, I don't. They may have, because they talk about all these films throughout, but they just gloss over them because it's more about just the behind-the-scenes personal stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that's what I was saying is the fascinating thing is that the Anne Mirror was clearly more talented, but she was very aware of his desire to be famous, and she didn't have that desire, and so she just let him have the limelight. Fantastic doco. There you go. Stiller and Mirror, Nothing Is Lost. Apple TV, I believe.
Apple TV. Apple Plus.
Apple. No, isn't it? It's Apple TV now. They've changed their names. They've changed their name. Officially Apple TV.
Now I want to find that John Cusack movie.
Okay.
But I'll do that.
I could do another clock wipe if you want.
A few moments later. No, it's all right. I don't need to know that bad. I just watched it like not too long ago, and it upsets me that I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah. Old age.
Well, you watched a lovely film, a lovely, heartfelt, heartwarming film. I went in a completely opposite direction. I'm much more in line with the movie battle.
You still had a hard on for the prison girls.
I still there was some more sleaze I had to cathartically work through. And I watched. Look, it's a phenomenal film from 2021 again. We played it at Monster Fest, and everyone told me it was good. And I was like, look, I just don't feel like it, so I just didn't watch it. But I watched it today. And fuck me, did I make a mistake not watching this
back then?
4 years ago. This movie is fucking phenomenal. It's called The Scary of 61st.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I know the one you mean.
It is directed by Dasha Nekrovska? Nekrasova? Nekrasova. She's also in the film.
Yep.
Stars Madeline Quinn, Betsy Brown, and Dasha. And it's a Jeffrey Epstein themed film. So these two, and this movie reminds me very much in tone and kind of look.
Yep.
To those great independent New York low budget movies.
Yeah,
it has this kind of grainy
like early
feel.
Woody Allen type of
very much like that. And it's clearly low budget. And it's these two girls who are like ex-college roommates who are moving in, trying to find an apartment in New York, and they get possibly the worst realtor I've ever seen who shows them around this apartment, and she's like, oh, one of the girls is like, oh, will you get it cleaned? And he's like, why? And she's like, looks around, and she goes, the place is filthy. And she's like, don't you have a broom? And then just kind of moves on. It's this super weird apartment that it has 2 bedrooms, but one bedroom you could only get to the rest of the apartment through the other bedroom.
Yep.
But it has its own private entrance.
Yep.
And so she's like, so to get to the rest of the apartment, I have to go out into the hallway? And he's like, hey, but I would lock you out most of the time, the other girl. So it's like this totally weird. But then they find out that they get a knock at the door one day from this strange woman who says she's there from the real estate agent and has to fill out some more paperwork. And when they're confused, she kind of goes, she just kind of bursts in. But as it goes, you find out she's in fact not from the real estate agent. She's just she's learnt that this apartment once was owned by Jeffrey Epstein and used as a sex den for his illicit rendezvous. And she's come to investigate. And there's like the mattress has blood and semen stains all over it and stuff, and it's super gross.
I'm loving the concept
and,
here.
Yeah, and one of the girls, she kind of befriends one of the girls and not the other one. And so the other one feels really left out, and she's kind of left with her dipshit boyfriend. But it's kind of like the spirit of Epstein is imbibed in the house.
Well, it says
and
there's a character called Ghislaine Maxwell's doppelganger.
Yeah. Yeah, and well, she kind of gets possessed by the spirit, and she's like, she ends up doing this weird, like she has no memory of it, but she runs down the street furiously masturbating in shop doors, and her boyfriend is fucking her, and he's saying things like, yeah, I'm a basketball player, I'm so tall, I could be in the NBA, and she's like, fuck me like I'm a 13-year-old, and he's like, what the fuck? He freaks out, and they kind of break up over it.
Wow.
And it's so fucking weird. Like, it's truly a bizarre film, but also incredibly gory.
Yeah.
It is. I cannot recommend it enough. I don't really want to give away any more than that.
Yeah.
But I cannot recommend it enough. It is to the point where I now have to go. Second Sight put out a fancy edition of it, which is probably sold out. But I'm at that point where I'm going to go on eBay and pay an outrageous sum for it, because it is just one of the most individual, unique,
fantastic,
special films that I have seen. Like if this was 2021, it'd be in my top 10.
Wow. And the director's only 34 years old, which means back then she was like in her late 20s.
Yeah, and for the most part, she's an actress. She's in things like Materialists and Succession and stuff.
Yeah. Incredible.
And they all get naked.
Yeah.
Just as a little sweetener. If you need a sweetener after that recommendation, it's full of nudity.
I am so down for it. All right, I'm going to add that to my watch list. Absolutely. Brings us to the end of a show. Thank you. You have made it. You've made it to the end. Fantastic. Congratulations. You get nothing. But
a sense of lost time.
You can hit us up on all the socials, particularly Facebook. Also go to YouTube, give us a subscribe and all that kind of stuff, and drop us a comment. That'd be great. Big thanks to Anthony O'Connor. That was a fantastic chat about Angst. That is available tomorrow.
And rest assured, both Glenn and I, since that interview, have shaved our noses.
That's right. Tickle, tickle.
Like a pig digging for truffles.
I'll see you next week.
Bye.
And so will he.